President Trump announcing a new weapons plan which will provide Ukraine with both defensive and offensive weapons, while making it clear that the EU, not the United States, will be paying for those weapons. The plan comes as a major shift for the president, who had previously criticized support to Ukraine. Just months ago, this fiery Oval Office interaction between President Trump and Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky filled headlines, making many believe support for Ukraine was coming to a close.
Don't tell us what we're going to feel.
I'm not telling you.
Because you're in no position to dictate that. Remember this. You're in no position to dictate what we're going to feel. We're going to feel very good.
You will feel influence.
We're going to feel very good and very strong.
You will feel influence.
You're right now not in a very good position.
Now, instead, it's Vladimir Putin who is facing the ire of the president, who has dramatically increased strikes on Ukraine since President Trump took office, with seemingly no interest in a ceasefire. President Trump warning Russia it has 50 days to come to the negotiating table or face severe tariffs from the United States.
And I'm disappointed in President Putin because I thought we would have had a deal 2 months ago, but it doesn't seem to get there. So based on that, we're going to be doing secondary tariffs if we don't have a deal in 50 days. It's very simple. And they'll be at 100%. And that's the way it is. It can be more simple. It's just the way it is. I hope we don't have to do it.
NewsNation's Kelly Meyer is live at the White House with the very latest on this announcement. Kelly, good afternoon. Strong words coming from the president.
Yeah, and such a shift in tone, as you pointed out there, Nick, on not only Ukrainian President Zelensky and shifting his frustration towards Russian President Vladimir Putin, but also on his stance with NATO and having this good relationship with NATO, when previously he was critical of them. So President Trump called this a very big day, a major deal between the U.S. and NATO happening just moments ago. President Trump announcing the U.S. will be sending weapons to NATO. NATO will then send them on to Ukraine. And the key in this is that NATO will be paying for the weapons. So inside the Oval Office a short time ago, NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte joined President Trump for this announcement. Rutte says Germany, Finland, Canada, Norway, Sweden, the UK, and Denmark are among the buyers to supply Ukraine. He says that speed is of the essence here. And Rutte and President Trump both hope that this move will move Russian President Putin closer to peace talks.
We're going to make top-of-the-line weapons, and they'll be sent to NATO.
This is really big. This is really big.
And while President Trump was meeting with NATO's leader in Washington, his special envoy to Ukraine was meeting with Ukrainian President Zelensky in Kyiv. Zelensky says it was a productive conversation. They discussed air defenses and sanctions against Russia. So this is something that we're going to continue to watch, this relationship between Zelensky and Trump, as well as how Putin plays into this and how he responds next. Nick.
Kelly, quick question for you. What more do we know about the sanctions that could be placed on Russia? We heard Mr. Trump mention that.
Yeah, another big moment in that Oval Office meeting with the NATO Secretary General, President Trump promising severe tariffs on Russia if there is no deal in 50 days. He says these would be secondary tariffs, meaning on those countries that trade with Russia. President Trump suggesting 100% tariffs. He also revealed that he speaks to Putin, quote, a lot, but says it's all just talk coming from him. President Trump wouldn't go as far to call Putin an assassin, but he says he's, quote, a tough guy. And President Trump says he thought they would have had a deal a long time ago. And as we've seen, he's grown tired of waiting for that deal. Take a listen.
I'm disappointed in President Putin because I thought we would have had a deal 2 months ago, but it doesn't seem to get there. So based on that, we're going to be doing secondary tariffs if we don't have a deal in 50 days. It's very simple. And they'll be at 100%.
So if I was Vladimir Putin today and hear you speaking about what you were planning to do in 50 days and this announcement, I would reconsider whether I should not take negotiations about Ukraine more seriously.
Yeah, so saying both with the weapon shipments and with the sanctions, or the threat of additional sanctions, that this should force Putin to reconsider the negotiation process. President Trump also saying that the Senate Republican Majority Leader would be here at the White House today, alluding to more discussions of those potential sanctions. Nick?
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.